Hi.
Hello.
Heya.
Welcome. Heya.
Heya.
Heya. And welcome to Talking with Kitties. We have a Bosco right here.
Meow, meow.
Meow, meow. I'm girlfriend.
I am boyfriend.
And that's Weird Uncle over there.
Weird Uncle is exploring.
He is exploring. Yes, we're talking about you. So, speaking of Weird Uncle, since he was just brought up, do you want to give everybody an update on how he's doing?
Weird Uncle is integrating fairly well.
Much better than the first time.
Much better than the first time. He and Bosco seem to be mostly tolerating each other.
By tolerating, he means ignoring, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, and that's how...
That's how Bosco tolerates things.
Yeah, Bosco doesn't really want friends. He just wants left alone and cuddles with his humans.
Yes.
But they can be nose to nose at times with no fighting. Weird Uncle is also possibly Mr. Finnegan as well.
Yes, we've definitely decided he's not a shadow. And the other day, Aaron was looking up at him and went, "You know, girlfriend, he's a Finnegan." And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, Finnegan. Like, that fits him so well. He was a Finnegan.
So we are test driving Finnegan and Mr. Finn and such for
Finnegan,
him.
Mr. Finn, Finsicle.
So if you hear any of those, that's who we're talking about. We're talking about Weird Uncle.
Or Weird Uncle, yeah.
But,
that will definitely be
Weird Uncle Mr. Finnegan.
Yes.
That sounds like one of our cat names.
It really does.
But yeah, so him and Bosco can get nose to nose and be around each other and not fight too much. But Mr. Finn is also like a 4-year-old giant kitten, and every once in a while he wants to play. And Bosco is the ultimate drama queen.
Yes. He's the biggest drama queen in this house.
And we knew this. We knew this ahead of time.
Yeah.
We didn't know the extent of his drama queenness until the other day at breakfast. I saw Finn walk up and tap him, and Bosco did the full UK soccer rolling and flailing and crying on the ground from a little tap on the shoulder. And it was so, and Weird Uncle's just looking at him like, "What the hell, man? I barely touched you." And Bosco goes, "Ah!"
We'll continue with that story, though, because then that leads into how he's getting along with Gizmo.
Yes. So Gizmo, on the other hand, I don't know if I'd still call her the aggressor, but she is definitely the enforcer.
Yes.
In the house. So after the soccer
Drama.
in the front room, Weird Uncle wandered off a couple feet away behind one of the chairs, and Bosco like laid down where he was at, and Bosco was like nonchalantly cleaning himself, and Weird Uncle was just looking like all ready to pounce, like getting ready. You know the cat look. If you're around cats, you know the look. He's getting ready. He's like, "Oh, he's right there. He's right there." And then little 8-pound Gizmo comes wandering up the hallway from the back room where she had been sound asleep.
Because she heard her brother crying.
So she walked up the hall, got to the doorway and sat down and just looked at Weird Uncle. And Weird Uncle looked at her and scurried as far away from them as he could to get out of the room, and gave her the widest berth that he possibly could against the wall, because he is terrified of the 8-pound kitten.
And then the little kitten got up, turned around, and went back into the living room and curled back up on the couch and went back to sleep.
Yep.
She came to protect her brother. Her duty was done, and she went back to nap.
So we have 2 boys. One's a 14-year-old, 15-pound cat. One's a 4-year-old, 15-pound cat. But the leader of the whole crew is a 4-year-old, 8-pound kitten.
And she's definitely she looks like a kitten compared to the other two.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's much smaller.
Absolutely.
She's leaner. She looks dainty. She sits dainty. She sits very pretty. and she is
slapping the crap out of the boys.
both of the boys.
Gizzard don't take no nonsense.
No.
None.
I'm telling you.
She ain't got time.
The girls in this house are independent women. We handle our
It's
own.
a house full of tough women.
We handle our own and don't mess with the ones we love.
Nope.
She's like, don't mess with my brother.
Yep.
I'll mess you up, weird uncle.
The only time the men in this house wear the pants is whenever the ladies let us borrow theirs.
Is that so? I was going to say when the ladies are either napping or at work, but...
That doesn't even count because whenever you go to work, you appoint who's in charge.
Appoint who's in charge. Yeah, so that's kind of a silly story, but every morning I get ready for work, I get ready to walk out the door, and I look around me and go, who should be in charge today? And
usually she has an array. Usually she has me
like
and
an
Bosco and Gizzard all sitting around the front door because we all kind of like walk
see
through the
me
door.
off, yeah.
And
Weird Uncle has been kind of coming down the steps and looking.
Coming down the steps, sitting on the steps, and like everybody sees her out.
Yeah,
like,
it's really,
the
really
whole
cute.
family is like, all right, you're on your way.
Like they wish me a good day. But so every morning I'm like, all right, who should be in charge today? And then usually I'll just pick one randomly based on however they're sitting or looking or, whatever.
And it is
whatever mood I'm in.
Very rarely me.
That's not true. For a while there, you were always in charge.
For a minute, but that was just because you liked my giggle.
Yeah, I did. Because he does that every time he gets pointed. But, yeah, so I get to pick who's in charge for the day, and then I leave and go to work.
Yep.
So, Weird Uncle has not been appointed in charge yet. I think he's too new to the scene.
Far too new. He needs more experience.
Mm-hmm. I should put him as like the assistant to the regional manager.
The assistant to the regional manager.
That way then he can...
Who's the regional manager?
Well, I don't know. That's who I would...
Yeah.
That's who I would, pass along the duties to that day. But then I can have him be the assistant to the... Yeah, duty.
Duty.
I can have him be the assistant to the regional manager. So...
Yes.
But yeah.
That's how else are you going to get him trained?
How else am I going to get him trained?
He has to shadow them for the day. Oh. Son of a bitch.
What else is new with us? Yesterday, we went to a wedding.
Yes. A wedding that made us feel very old.
Very old.
Very
my
old.
goodness, did we feel old. So, it's the first dry wedding we've been to for a very long time.
Very long time.
And we're not huge drinkers, but it was very strange to be at a wedding and
everybody was sober.
Everybody was sober, and half at least of the people, well, almost all of the adults looked very bored because
very bored.
There was no alcohol.
Yeah.
After we sat there for a little bit, we started doing the math and realized that the ones who were getting married were actually under 21.
Mm-hmm.
All of their friends were under 21 or very far from 21.
Very far.
So it made sense why they're
like the entire bridal party was
underage. So yeah, that's why. I mean, it makes sense now once we actually thought about it. I mean, it was a beautiful wedding, though.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely. And the reason it made us feel old was because the bridal party was all underage, under 21. But we remember when the bride was born.
Yes.
And now she's getting married. It's one of those things.
Yeah, I didn't know her when she was born, but I think I met her when she was like 2.
Something like that, yeah.
I want to say 2. So we've known her since Aaron's known her since she was literally born. Mm-hmm. I've known her since she was about 2. So yeah, it's very strange to go to a wedding of someone that you literally knew when they were in diapers. But it was beautiful. Mm-hmm. And it makes my heart so happy because
it's actually they seem like a really, really solid, really good couple.
100%. Like I know they're young, and some people are like, "Oh, you're."
I know a lot of people say they're too young, but
there is no one that I would have picked for her.
Yeah,
and he's just a wonderful stand-up guy, and they're gonna do great things in their lives, I think.
I'm in general anti-marriage, but those two should be together, whether it's marriage or not. Those two should be.
They
together.
are meant. They are meant.
No
for
issue.
each other. Yeah.
I have no qualms with them entering into this together. Like
No.
it's a good match, I think.
It's a very good match, yeah. So that was kind of nice.
And they have a whole plan out. They have a whole plan laid out for like the next 10 years of their lives. Like
Yeah.
school and going back and forth and what they want to do. Like they have it all laid out. This is one of those like, oh, I like him. I'm going to get married. Now we're going to do like they have a whole plan
They
laid
have
out.
their whole like first 10 years.
Because he's in
planned out,
school
like,
right now, right? He got a free ride.
He's in college right now.
And then she's
working. And then when he graduates, they're going to switch. And then I think she said like her senior year of college is when she's looking to try to get pregnant. Like they want to wait like 5 or 6 years.
Like they have
so they're both graduated or close to being done graduating, and then they want to work on because they want a family.
Yeah, they have it's a solid plan. Like they have a solid plan laid out.
They really do.
And,
but they're both. I mean, I don't know about his parents, but like her parents. Like taught her what love should look like.
Oh, yeah,
like they have a very solid, healthy relationship.
Yes.
So, I mean, she's going into this knowing full well, like she's in it for the long haul.
And she's surrounded by good people.
She really is.
She really is.
She really, really is.
Actually, happy for those. We went to a wedding that I'm happy for the two that are.
Yes.
Yes, I don't feel like they're totally ruining their lives.
No, they were. Yeah. They were stunning. The wedding was a Winter Wonderland theme, and talking to the bride months ago, she has always really loved Disney princesses. She told me that if she could, she would make everybody dress up like to the max. Like she would want princess dresses on all the women and men in tuxedos. So Aaron and I tried to
We did the damn thing.
I searched online and found a beautiful ball gown that was as close to the gold dress that Belle wears. Mm-hmm. And Aaron wore a beautiful suit with a gold vest and tie to match my dress. And we rocked that shit.
Had the bowler hat.
Yeah.
Had the cane to match everything.
I forgot about the cane. Yeah, he looked
stunning.
We made the bride cry when she saw us. She was so happy.
It took a good 20, 25 minutes to get her laced up into the dress.
Oh my goodness, I'm never doing that again. Yeah. But
first thing we did when we got in the car was she leaned forward. I started undoing laces so she could breathe.
I had such trouble breathing the whole time we were there. I looked damn good.
She looked damn good.
But it was uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the bride cried when she saw us and told us that other than her, we were the best dressed there.
I got so many compliments.
I got quite a few too. From people I had no idea who they were. Mm-hmm. Like I had random people walking up to me and like, you guys look amazing. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah. We had a really, really nice time.
It was nice.
Yeah, I wasn't complaining by the dry wedding. It was just funny that it was just
we heard some complaints.
We did hear a couple complaints.
We're not the ones complaining.
No. But it was the first dry wedding I think I've honestly ever been to.
Yeah,
because a lot of the people that we used to hang out with or have hung out with are fairly big drinkers. But really, the last wedding we went to, like, it's been a long time. Like when our friends got married, we were quite a bit younger. So, but yeah, it was an absolute stunning wedding. Gorgeous. We wish the happy couple many, many, many years of happiness and joy. Yes. I don't know if they listen, but if you do, you know who you are, and we love you.
Yeah, you're all right.
That's a high praise from Aaron. So. Seriously.
We need to trim her.
Every single podcast.
Your kitten is bad.
You're yelling at a cat. I love that she's only my cat if she's bad.
You started out with Bosco.
I did.
He was only my cat when he was bad.
That's true.
Now they're all your cat because they're always bad.
Oh my goodness, always bad.
We do need to trim her.
Bubs, you're not mine now, unfortunately, because you're being a good boy. So you're daddy's, I guess, right now. Oh, that's something I'm curious about, actually.
Uh-oh.
So, not necessarily for you, but for the listeners, because I know your answer. But if you have pets, whether it's dogs, cats, whatever, it doesn't matter. Do you refer to yourself as like their parents? Or do you refer to yourself by your name?
Are you talking about my sister?
Well, yes, I am talking about your sister. So his sister has an adorable dog. He's really sweet.
Really loud.
He's
Excitable.
very excitable. He really loves company. He gets very excited.
But unfortunately,
he's a very sweet boy.
When he gets excited, he sounds like he's getting beat.
Yeah, he yelps. And he's like he's a lab, isn't he? Like he's a big.
He's
something. He's like a lab or something.
Yeah.
But he's a big dog. But he sounds like you're literally beating the life out of him. But if you look at him, he just looks like he's smiling, like he's so happy.
He's like twitching and shaking, and he's so excited. Like his tail's wagging his whole body.
Yeah, but so her and her husband refer to themselves as their names.
Mm-hmm.
So like if it were us, it would be like, oh, look, there's Aaron, or oh, look, there's Cora, or boyfriend or girlfriend. To me, it catches me off guard because when I go to talk to their dog, I want to say mommy or daddy. But that's not what they do.
That's not what they do. But they get it at the same time.
No, they've never like.
Yeah, but like we were talking about weird uncle, and she was even like, "Well, yeah, that makes sense. You wouldn't be mom and dad. You would be brother.
You would be brother, and you'd be his sister-in-law.
Yeah.
So she gets it, and I mean, I'm not judging them, but I'm just curious, like how other people react, like what they refer to themselves to their animals.
That's how my family is. That's how my family's always been. It's never been like a mama.
I'm mom, I'm dad. It's
just the cats. We've always been a big animal family.
Your family's a huge animal family.
But it's never. This is our dynamic is the first one that includes the animals as kids, and I'm doing quotes because we know they're not kids.
Yes, please don't get into an art. Like we know they're hard. Kids are harder to have. Kids or whatever. We get that, but we're not having children.
These are our kids.
So these are our kids. These are our babies. So if it weren't for me, would you refer to them as the kids?
I have no idea. I've never really thought about it before.
You just go along with it because that's what I've always referred to them as.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I'm trying to think about whenever I had Bosco before we moved in together, and I don't remember how I referred to him. I don't think I referred to him like that.
See, when I was growing up, though, we had a dog, Belle, and I didn't think of Belle as my kid, but Belle was like...
Belle's more like sister.
Yeah, but I mean, I referred, like, she was Belle. She was just Belle. Like, it was like, oh, yeah, we have a dog, Belle, but if I was, like, with Belle, it was like, there's Belle. Like,
yeah. But, I mean, she wouldn't have been your kid. She would have been more your sister.
She would have been more my sibling.
And she was in Newfoundland, so she drooled a lot and smelled bad, but less than some of your other sisters.
Drool a lot. Sorry, I almost ruined the joke. That's really mean.
And if the sisters are listening, you know which one I'm talking about.
I'm going to make sure she listens to this one. I'm like, hey, you have a special shout out in this podcast. You should listen.
She'll be so excited.
She will be until she hears what you said.
She'll still be excited.
She will be. She'll be like, oh, I knew he loved me.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's what's new and exciting with us at the moment. So
that's Weird Uncle updates.
Weird Uncle, Mr. Finnegan.
Mr. Finnegan, Weird Uncle.
Mr. Finnegan, Weird Uncle the third.
The third.
We have no idea why it's the third, but it is the third.
It is the third.
Mr. Finnegan, Weird Uncle the third. And then we have a Sir Bubbaroo laying over on the couch being all cute.
He's curled up, but I think he wants to sleep, but his eyes are open. I don't think he trusts you.
Me?
I mean the listeners.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't trust you guys.
He doesn't trust y'all. Shady internet people.
Shady internet people.
You know they are.
And he knows.
He knows.
He's watching you.
He's been on the internet longer than a lot of people.
Yeah. He has been.
He has been. Mm-hmm.
So, what do you feel like talking about today?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. We're supposed to be getting some lovely Western Pennsylvania weather tonight.
It's weathering outside.
That was starting earlier. We were out and we were in the truck and it was raining, but the temperature was dropping quickly and the windshield was trying to freeze up while we were driving. I had to crank the defrost on the front windshield to keep it from icing over
Yeah, that sucked.
while driving during the day.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, waking up tomorrow could be interesting.
Yeah.
But
can't wait to walk to work.
yay.
Woo.
Yay. It's better than waking up to clean off a car.
Absolutely. 100%. We took a short break there. Had some drinks. As in water and
Sody pop.
soda pop.
Got me a root beer because it's late and I like to sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been sleeping at night.
Bosco has finally decided that he trusts you guys enough.
Yeah, he's upside down and out.
He is upside down and fast asleep. So I think we're just going to let's just do a big update on the only other real things we can talk about that are going on in our lives at the moment. Health stuff. Woo!
Yay, health stuff.
So I've never really, I don't want to say I've never. I, in the past, have tried to make New Year's resolutions, but I make ones that are pretty unobtainable. Don't stick with it after like the first or second day and then go, I'll just wait till next year.
So, the usual New Year's
Yeah, like
resolution.
the usual New Year resolutions that almost everybody does. This year I'm turning 40.
Woo!
And I've decided that I really need to kick myself into gear and take control of my health because heart disease runs in my family. And I would prefer not to go in for open heart surgery in my lifetime. My grandfather and my father both had open heart surgery in their 40s. I follow quite a bit in their steps. We have a lot in common. So, yeah, I would prefer not to have to do that.
I would also prefer you to not do that.
Thank you. So, I'm really trying. I've decided this is the year that I'm going to finally start treating myself the way that I deserve to be treated. As in, I'm going to take better care of myself. And damn it, if I can't love myself for me, I'm going to love myself for you. Because I need to be around for you and the kitties.
Definitely the kitties.
Yes. I did a lot of research. Had looked around. I had thought about joining Weight Watchers, but
Which she had done. She had done Weight Watchers a few years back.
yeah,
And
I
it
was
was
always
unpleasant.
hungry and always miserable.
Always grumpy.
Always grumpy because I was starving, or I felt starving. And then so I did think about joining again, but they've changed the plans since then, and all of the food that I used to have as 0 points are now more points, and it just So I was talking to a friend, and she mentioned that she does intermittent fasting. My father has done intermittent fasting, but he takes it way out of control and does like a 5-2 where he like for 2 days he only eats like 500 calories or something, and there's no way I can do that.
And I had a guy I used to work with also did intermittent fasting for about a year or
Yes.
so, and it had worked fairly well for him.
Fairly well for him.
But he was one of those ones that like he was doing 16 and 8 like you are. But during that 8 hours, he ate
Everything in sight,
Oh my God.
regardless of what it was. And he still lost weight.
He just hoovered up everything in sight.
He
It's
still lost
crazy.
weight, but he is a guy, and guys tend to have a better metabolism than women. Like men can lose weight faster and better, easier than women. But so I decided I was going to do intermittent fasting, and I really did some research, and I know that 16/8 is the most not complicated, but like the harder one to do other than like the days one, which I wasn't even going to attempt. So I decided to do it. I'm going from 11 to 7 is what I had been doing, but I talked to Aaron and I think I might do 10 to 6 just because I don't want to eat real close. We're old. We go to bed at 9 o'clock and I'd never eat past 6 anyway, or I've been really trying not to.
We usually go to bed around 9 o'clock and we're up at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to. We rarely eat past 6 o'clock to begin with, And waking up at 6 and having to wait until 11 to eat has to just be awful.
Well, and for a while there, like it would be 11 o'clock. And then I'm like, well, I mean, I eat lunch in an hour. I might as well just wait. So then I'm really waiting until noon. So from noon until 6, 7, but we don't eat past 6. So from noon until 6 is all I can eat.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I might do the 10 to 6. And then I took it one step further because I know they say, you can eat pretty much whatever you want. But I feel like I'm not going to lose weight if I do it that way. So I got an app on my phone. I got MyFitnessPal, and I actually did pay for it. They do have a free version. If you pay for it, you get a lot more features. So on the app, you put in your weight, which none of you will ever know what my weight is. Aaron doesn't even know what my weight is. He will never know what my weight is. You put in your weight, you put in your height, and then you put in how many pounds a week you want to lose. Like you can do half a pound, 1.5 or 2 pounds. 2 pounds is obviously the harder one. And I chose 2. So, of course, go big or go home. It gave me an amount of calories I can have daily. And I've been really trying hard to stay within that calorie setting throughout the 8 hours that I can eat. I also, which I think this has has done better for me than anything else, but I love cherry Coke. So prior to the first of this year, I hate water.
She hates water.
Hate water.
Oh, and almost all I drink is water.
Yeah. I lived off of like cherry Coke or regular Coke, really any soda, but cherry Coke was my drink of choice. But soda, coffee, and Red Bull. Like that's literally what I lived off of. Mm-hmm. Occasionally tea, occasionally like lemonade, whatever. But if I had a go-to drink in the house, it was a cherry Coke or a Red Bull or a coffee. Mm-hmm. I have not cut out my coffee, but I am only drinking my coffee black now, which doesn't really faze me at all because black coffee is delicious. So I cut out creamer. Basically, in the 16 hours that I'm not eating per se, I can only have water or coffee, black coffee. And I try to limit how many cups of coffee I allow myself to have. I just don't want that crazy caffeine, whatever. I can't do plain water. I have found hint water, and I love it. It's quite expensive. I'm actually going to be trying a Circle bottle here soon.
Cirkul.
Yes.
Circle.
So I'll give you an update on that if I actually like it.
But she had tried it before.
The couple years ago.
Same guy that I used to work with was all about the Circle bottles for a hot minute. And he tried talking everybody into it because if he would get a referral on them, he would get
like a bunch of free pods or whatever.
Something like that.
So I did it. It was like I think it was $5. And I got a bottle and like one flavoring.
And the bottle leaked like fucking crazy, right?
Bottle leaked like a sieve, and it was a mess. And the flavor that I picked wasn't great. I don't even remember what flavor it was. But
she just the slightest hint of flavor.
That's why I love hint,
like
because it's literally so very little. Like I don't like sweet things. I don't want it to taste like Kool-Aid by any means.
If you take a glass of water and walk it through a room adjacent to some fruit, that's the flavor she's looking for.
Yes. So,
like if a strawberry had sneezed on the water,
that would be what I would want. Yeah. Maybe not sneezed in, but yeah. That's disgusting.
A little bit.
But yeah, no. So anyway, all of this to say that as of January 1st, I cut out all of the soda and the Red Bull. I only eat within the 8 hours that I've allotted myself. I'm staying within my calories. I think there's only been 2 days since I started that I've gone over my calories. And it was very little. In those days, I was really active. So it kind of worked out that, I went over, but I also burned a lot more calories that day than I, am used to. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to be more physically active. I'm not doing as well as I had hoped. I did start up pickleball once a week.
One of the big things with the intermittent fasting with her is she is a boredom snacker.
That is like how I cope with things. When I'm bored, I snack, and when I'm depressed, I snack.
So it's like winter.
Food is my coping mechanism for almost anything. And I'm really like, I don't have snacks in the house. I don't have snacks at work anymore because if it's there, I'll eat it. I don't have good self-control.
We have drastically cut back on how often we eat out.
Yes.
And I've been put in charge of that.
Yes.
And I got guilt tripped real hard yesterday
I'm so
for
sorry.
it because she wanted pizza. And what sucked was I wanted pizza.
So we left the wedding. It was like 6 o'clock and at 6:30.
About that.
And we did eat at the wedding, but it was just like it had been a long day. We were both tired. We had gone through yesterday was a really long, crazy day. We got some really crazy news.
Some really good news.
Good
some
news.
Really bad
some really
news,
bad news. It was just
it
was a really emotionally wrecked kind of day.
Yeah.
And then seeing this girl who we watched grow up from a baby, getting married, it was just a really crazy emotional day. And I wanted food to cope with that. And I don't even like pizza. I really don't like pizza, but I wanted pizza.
And I've been craving pizza for days.
Which I did not know until I mentioned, hey, we should stop and get a pizza. And he's like, oh man, I've been wanting a pizza for a couple days. And then I'm like, hell yeah, I'm getting pizza.
And I went, nope.
And he's like, nope. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You're not going to let me get pizza?
Yep.
And he's like, yep. And I actually, I held that grudge till we went to bed.
She was mad.
I was so angry. I wanted pizza so bad. And I could have gotten my fat butt off of the couch and gone and got myself a pizza. But he would have been disappointed in me. And the rule was if he told me no, we couldn't go. And I put him in charge of this. It wasn't like he's decided, I'm telling you what and what you can't eat.
Yeah.
I don't have the self-control. I don't particularly like to cook. So I knew if I didn't have him be in charge of when we could go out to eat, it would never change.
So she gave me a pair of pants to wear around when we go out to eat.
When it comes to going out to eat. Now, today we did only eat out, which sucked, but
we were
that
out
was beyond our circumstances.
Yeah, we were out all day. We were doing stuff. We did a lot of stuff today.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff to get done today. So, and honestly, I don't feel great. We ate out. I'm noticing now.
I took 2 times before we came down here.
See, I'm really I always thought people were crazy when they're like, seriously, when you start eating healthier and better, you notice the food that doesn't make you feel great. And it's like, wow, okay, I'm starting to kind of pick up on this. But
I've been saying that for years because I started cutting out fast food and the McDonald's and Burger King and everything. So I used to live on that.
Yeah.
And a couple years ago, I started trying to cut back on all that because that's just a lot of sodium and just a lot of you don't even know what you're putting in your body with some of that stuff. So I started trying to cut some of that back, and the more I cut it back, the more it would disagree with me whenever I would
you can't eat any of that stuff.
Yeah, you screwed me up with all of that because you cook good food that is yummy, and you keep. We go out to eat somewhere. We would go to Olive Garden. We're talking 10 years ago now at this point. We'd go to Olive Garden, and I would always get
chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo.
As he would call it, his grown-up mac and cheese.
Yes. The grown-up mac and cheese. Because it was, prior to that, I would get the ravioli because it was my grown-up Chef Boyardee.
Yes. It's so true.
So it was grown-up Chef Boyardee and my grown-up macaroni and cheese were my go-tos. And I found the chicken Alfredo and I really, really liked it. And then, she put together an Alfredo recipe that is just amazing. Amazing. And so now I don't even want
Yeah, I can't coax him to go to Olive Garden because before I could be like, you can have a chicken Alfredo. And he'd be like, all right, let's go to Olive Garden. And now it's like, no, yours better. It's fine.
You can have this second-rate garbage Alfredo.
That's literally, and Olive Garden, he liked Olive Garden, but now he just does not. So
I'm good.
So yeah, we're not going out to eat as much, and I'm trying to cook healthier at home.
Yeah, she's trying to eat healthier, which means I'm eating healthier.
Which is good for you though too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's still delicious. And I'm trying to really cut back on my my servings too, which I don't know if I'm doing great at, but one step at a time.
Yeah.
But anyway, all of this to say, I weighed myself on Monday. Monday would have been 2 weeks in, right? 2 weeks?
In, yep.
And I had lost 4.6 pounds. So I have lost 2 pounds a week. I'm not expecting that to continue for long. I'm sure I'm going to have to make a lot more adjustments and changes in my life, but I'm 2 for 2 right now.
2 for 2.
And
Celebrate the little things.
So I have to, or I'll give up.
Yep.
So
it's the same thing I tell you in the bedroom.
Well, okay then. Sorry, Mom. Yeah, so I'm feeling better. I'm obviously nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm getting there. I want to start getting more active. I'm hoping in the summer I'll get a little bit more active, but I have been doing pickleball. I have weights upstairs. I should really start doing it. I want to get back into yoga. I miss yoga.
I keep looking at those weights too.
They're really nice.
They are. And I keep thinking, but the whole actually using them just seems like
work.
Yeah.
I know. So that's my health update. Do you want to give yours?
So I had an interesting. I had a point. Oh, fuck.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So earlier this week, I had an appointment with my PCP to just go over, like general checkup. And I do it every 6 months. And the one prior to this, 6 months ago, which would have been back in the warm days, he had me do blood work for it, and it was showing slightly elevated cholesterol levels. Cholesterol medicine had been floated by me, and I said, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm going to see what I can do just with lifestyle changes, and started looking into it. Pretty much everything I enjoy eating is bad for cholesterol.
Yeah.
And
any good food.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to change that.
I don't want to change that at all. But I saw that a lot of places were saying moderate exercise for 20 minutes to half an hour a day, going for a walk. Not even a brisk walk, just a walk can help. Like 20 minutes, half an hour. I was like, all right, how can I exercise?
Because Lord knows he's not going for a walk in this kind of weather.
I'm not going for a walk because that's outside. That's where the people are at.
That's true. You wouldn't even go in the summer.
Don't like that. You've got me out a couple times, but then I'm just side-eyeing motherfuckers. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't like to take him out in public very often.
He's not going to talk to me. But like, all right, what am I going to do? How? Okay, what do I? I was like, wait, there's a drum set downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So I started getting into drumming. 20 minutes, half hour a day, beating on drums to learn how to play drums for the cardio workout, just to see how that would go. And then that was going really well for a minute. I turned it into a whole YouTube series for a while there. One of the things that they say whenever you're practicing music or anything is to record yourself, because when you're in the moment, you could be making mistakes that you don't realize you're doing. Then you go back and listen to it and you're like, oh, that is terrible. And that gives you an idea of what to work on in the future. So I was recording the drums already. So I was like, I should just put this out there. Maybe somebody wants to watch. And the premise behind it was everybody knows good musicians. Everybody knows people that have been playing for a long time and how good they are. Oh man, I wish I could do that. And then they pick up an instrument and they try to play it and they just make terrible noise and it sucks. And they don't realize that everybody sucked.
Everybody started out not being great.
I'm going to put my suck out there.
Yep.
And that's what I've been doing, is just putting my suck out there. But then some shit came up towards the end of last year. Right before the holidays, I got pretty sick. Then we had the holidays and a whole lot of other stuff was going on. I got really busy and it fell to the side for a while. And I'm just starting to get back into it. So I had my checkup earlier this week, and it's the first time I talked to him since summer, my last checkup. He had no idea what my plan was.
No, he just knew that you were going to try to do some lifestyle changes.
And my doctor is awesome. He's a younger guy, and I really like him. He's helped out a lot in a lot of different ways with a lot of stuff. He really got me back on the track I needed to be on. He was excited. Like, he was visibly excited at the prospect, and he's like, yeah, I can see how that might work. He's like writing notes and everything. He's like, yeah, it makes sense. He seems to really like my plan. He set me up for my next checkup, which is in the summer again in July, he wants me to do blood work prior to it so we can discuss it whenever I go in, because we both
Are curious.
we want to see how
yeah.
it works. We want to see what the results are at. We're both really excited to it. So now that also gives me a little added incentive to get back onto it, because
Absolutely.
in 6 months, I got to show my work.
You have to show your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on top of that, my blood pressure was slightly elevated. I have always had high blood pressure. It's gotten
Not
better.
high.
I used to have high blood pressure.
Well, you used to have really high beat. That's when you smoked like 2 packs a day.
Yes. And it's better now.
100%.
But I figure with cardio, with the drums, that'll probably help the blood pressure and everything too. So I'm kind of curious how everything kind of like. Plus, I learned how to play the drums, which I'm pretty excited about too.
Yeah, so it's a win-win situation. You get to.
And I've already noticed it helping with some of my timekeeping and everything whenever I switch over to the bass and play that. Like,
really?
I've seen the crossover. And I was talking to Paul. Paul is the drums are Paul's. So I was talking to Paul. He's like an actual drummer. I have no intention of being a drummer. I'm just a bassist who plays drums.
Yeah, you want to learn how.
But I'm sitting over there playing drums, and all I'm thinking about is the bass lines that I could be writing to the drums. And
That's cool.
He thought that was just so. He's like, I'd never thought of anything like that. Like, I'm just sitting back there playing drums, and in my head, I'm thinking of bass lines that could go along with it. So I'm just like funky bass lines in my head and just trying to keep that beat.
That's amazing.
So
I didn't know that even. That's really cool.
It's been really, really interesting. And then on top of that is just, eating healthier. There's a lot of heart conditions, a lot of heart attacks, strokes, heart disease.
Yeah, you have a lot of crap in your family tree too.
We are not healthy crew. So,
but we're gonna change that.
Yeah, we're doing it.
We're trying.
My sister is a couple years older than me, and she's always been much more conscious about her health than I have been, and she's been doing pretty good. Mm-hmm. So looking at her gives me a little bit of hope. So
no, absolutely. I mean, she's like you said, she's always been a little more conscious of her health and try to stay active and eat right, but. Yeah, but that she did, and she's so far avoided all of that. So,
and I'm lucky because knock on wood, weight's never been an issue for me.
He has fantastic metabolism.
I got weighed. I'm just hanging steady at 185. So that's never it's never been an issue.
You've been
trying
like
to keep
185 for like 5 years.
Yeah, I've been 185 since I jumped up from 175, and I've been 175 for like 10 years.
Yeah,
like I don't.
You hit 40 and jumped up to 185, and then you've stuck.
And I've also changed some of my snacking. I'm not a big snacker. I've never been a really big snacker, but now whenever I do, my big thing lately has been dark chocolate covered cashews. Mm-hmm. But whenever I say snack, it's like I have 4 of them.
Okay, so this man right here, I'm sorry, I have to go on a little tangent.
I know.
Because you don't know how to snack. This man does not know what snacking means. He can literally have a bag of potato chips. And imagine your favorite potato chips, right? So, not you, babe.
Oh.
But, I mean, you can too. But, like, the listener, imagine your favorite thing of potato chips, right? Whether cheese curls, whatever. You get me. Your favorite snack. You crack open that nice crisp bag and you take a whiff of your favorite. I'm a foodie. You take a whiff of your favorite, snack, treat, whatever. And then you start freaking eating your snack, right? And you don't just do like, you eat it by the handful. Like, rah, 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 rah. Or, you get yourself a bowl and you have whatever, however fancy you may be. Anyway, this mofo right here.
That'd be me.
Can eat like 3 potato chips and be like, okay, I'm done. And fold up the bag and be done with it. And I'm like, bitch, I just got started. 3 potato chips?
I'll eat a couple of chips. I'll be like, I'll have a couple chips.
And it's not like I'll have a couple chips and then like move on to a different snack because that's not what you were in the mood for. Nope. It's like, yes, that was satisfying. Bullshit, 3, you don't even taste it yet. He eats 3 chips, and I'm not even like 3 at one time. He like eats a potato chip, chews it up, swallows it, sits there for a little bit and goes, oh, I believe I'll have another chip now. And then chews it up. No. And I'm sitting here like handfuls of chips. nom, 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 nom.
This is
Because
accurate.
I know how to snack.
I know how to snack.
And he also doesn't eat popcorn, but he would be one of those crazy people that he gets popcorn and he eats like one kernel at a time.
I do, yeah.
Who does that?
Well, I usually get like 2 or 3 at a time.
You don't eat popcorn, but seriously, like it's insane.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to snack anyway.
I don't know how to snack right.
He does not snack correctly. Sorry. End of tangent. I will step off my soapbox, but that just...
Dark chocolate covered cashews. I've been doing a lot of
dark chocolate's better for you.
yes, especially for heart health.
Mm-hmm.
So a few years ago, where I was working, our one vendor sent us this big Christmas basket of candy, mainly chocolate. It was a Ghirardelli, however you say that.
Ghirardelli, I think.
Ghirardelli.
Yeah, something like that.
Big thing of chocolate. Everybody housed everything.
Yeah.
Like it was gone in days, except for all of the dark chocolate.
Because no one liked dark.
And I knew that dark chocolate was supposed to be healthier for you, and I know a lot of people said it was an acquired taste, and all this dark chocolate was there. So I was like, I'm about to acquire this shit right now. So I did. I slowly just every day I had like a piece or two of the dark chocolate, and now that's all I want. Milk chocolate is too sweet. White chocolate,
Oh, milk.
but yeah, you give me some good dark chocolate. But yeah, I've always liked cashews, and then I found dark chocolate covered cashews. It was like, I need those.
But you have like one a day.
I have like 2 to 4.
Okay. But you eat like...
Sometimes up to 6.
You eat like 1 or 2 after dinner.
I'll eat my lunch.
That's like your dinner snack.
I'll eat my lunch, and I'll have 2. If those 2 seem to be tasting moreish, I'll have another 2.
Oh, okay.
And then after dinner, I'll have if I'm feeling frisky, I'll have 2. But I won't have more than 2 because I don't want it to keep me up.
You don't want it to keep you up.
I was a bit of a sugar whore.
Oh my God, were you? It was crazy.
I've backed that off the past couple of years. I've made a conscious decision the past few years. I've been working towards this, but I cut salt out of my diet as much as I possibly could. I cut soda out of my diet a long time ago.
Quite a few years ago.
I've been cutting back on my sugar intake the past couple years. But I've been making a lot of conscious decisions because I know my family history. And
see, I knew, and I was kind of willing to deal with it for way too long because
you're just a couple years behind me.
Well, yeah, I really was, but I really, 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 really like food, and that's how I cope with things. And I'm like, it's not worth it. I'll take the health issues. But as I'm nearing 40, and that's 40 to 50 is when all of my family's health issues usually crop up. I'm like, all right, like let's get it together.
Yeah, let's do something.
Yes, food's exciting. Yes, food's important, but you have more in your life to live for than food.
And if you're gonna have food so important, you might as well make it be good food.
Yeah, but the food that I was eating to me was good at the time.
No.
And I'm learning now it's not.
Yeah, I mean, you, back in the day, the food that you went for was really good food. But then for somewhere along the line, you fell into the trap and you were craving McDonald's.
Yeah, it was the salt.
It was the salt, yeah.
And I still have... I haven't been salting any of my food.
But the McDonald's, the Chinese, it's all the MSG, the salt, all that stuff. You start craving all of that.
That's all I wanted.
You didn't even want the food. You just wanted the salt.
No, I wanted the salt. Yeah, no, that's true.
And that's the last thing you should have.
I know. But yeah, no, you're 100% right. But that's what I craved. So now I still crave Chinese food. Chinese food is like my guilty pleasure. It's my favorite thing. That and any kind of soup. But But for a while there, I was eating it way too often.
Oh, yeah.
And way too much of it.
Yeah, and we would go and pick it up, and you would pick up 3 days worth.
Yeah, so I have a favorite Chinese place, and it's like 45 minutes away.
45 minutes to an hour.
And I'm that crazy person that would make that drive just like a special trip.
Yeah, we make the trip just for Chinese, at least once a month.
Once a month, I would say I would go and make a special... once a month, I would make the special trip to go and get myself Chinese food. And then, if I were in the area, and by in the area, it's like within like a half hour away.
If she was in the area...
mountain. If I was over the mountain, that way.
If she was someplace where she could justify driving through the town to get back.
Yes. And that could happen a lot because it's in an area where it's easier to get back to here from that town. I would have to stop. But it wasn't just like a small meal and bring it back and eat it and then that would be it. I would literally get like 3 days worth. Like I could eat it for 4 meals. I would like spend way too much money, way too much food. I would eat it all. It would never go to waste.
Yeah.
But
she ate it for like 3 or 4 days.
I ate it for 3 or 4 days and loved it, but then I was ready to go and get more because then I was done.
But yeah, we'd make the trip like once a month, but that trip once a month was a week's worth of food.
Yeah. Well, not a week, but yeah. Yeah. I decided that I was going to cut it out as much as I could. I'm still letting myself eat it.
Absolutely, yeah. When I allow it.
Yeah. And I haven't gone yet.
You went last Monday, just not to that Chinese place.
Went last Monday, not to that place. I did go for Chinese food. I did go to a buffet, but I behaved myself for the most part. I did drink water.
Last time, we have stopped up there and picked up food, and you brought it out, but it was right before. It was right at the end of December.
It was December 31st we went because I said that it was my last day, and I got this little tiny bag.
You're like, what is this?
Because I said that starting on the 1st, I was going to behave myself. And so on the 31st, I got Chinese food. I drank a cherry Coke and I drank a Red Bull because I knew I wasn't going to let myself drink them anymore. And I didn't want to eat as much. So I only got one tiny little like lunch size portion of my Chinese food. And that's what I ate because I knew that was like my last hurrah. And it filled me up. I mean, it was fine for that meal.
And that was some of the other stuff you were saying about too, because you started noticing the past couple of weeks, you were being more conscious of stopping eating when you were getting full.
I'm really trying to recognize when I'm not hungry anymore. Yeah. Because for a while it was like, no, you just eat all of it. You can just shovel it in, you'll be fine. And I would eat so fast that I didn't know I was full until after it was already all gone.
And then you're miserable.
And then I felt miserable. And that was another thing. Like for a while there, I would eat Chinese food. And every time I'd eat Chinese food, I'd get sick afterward. But it's because I was eating so much of it.
That was the thing we used to do because for a very long time, just the way our work schedules were, we were both only eating like once a day. And it was one big meal a day that would just sit in our stomachs.
And we would just shovel it in as fast as we could because we had to get back to work.
Yeah.
And where we'd eat really, really, really late at night.
And then a few years ago, I started doing the thing where I was consciously trying to slow down my eating so I wasn't filling up as quick. And so I would notice when I was full. And for long time for everybody, I was the human trash disposal. Like they had food and it's like, I can't finish this, do you want it? And I would just down and went. So I was just eating until I was miserable all the time. And I realized that was because I was overeating all the time. Every time I ate, I was overeating. So I've been watching that for a while, and now she's starting to see the same thing.
Now I'm not quite there yet. I still eat too fast.
But there's been a couple nights now that we've eaten dinner and you're like, yeah, I ate too much. I feel miserable. I didn't feel like this last night. So you're seeing it.
I'm seeing it, and I'm eating, but I'm not finding I'm as hungry. I'm hungry in the morning. Like I'm hungry right around like 10:30 when I was doing 11 to 7. Like I was like, okay, I'm really freaking hungry. But I also haven't been drinking a whole lot of water when I'm at home. When I'm at work, like I'll drink my coffee at work and then I'll just start drinking water because I've noticed if I drink more water, then I don't feel as hungry. It's a learning experience. I haven't been craving food like I used to be so much. Like I love me some French fries. French fries are like a downfall, and I did have some today.
You did.
But
fried foods are a downfall for both of us.
Yeah, because we did have cheese sticks too.
We had cheese sticks. I had onion rings.
I don't feel sick though.
No,
I feel okay.
But then I had a nap.
Yeah, you did have a little bit of a nap after you ate.
I was tired.
I had a pampering bath and shower instead of a nap, but I almost fell asleep in the tub.
I had a gizzard nap.
You did. It was really sweet. I came out and saw her laying sprawled out all on him, and I'm like, aren't we going to record a podcast? And Gizzard gave me the side eye like, bitch, shut your mouth.
You're mine right now.
That's our health updates for the moment.
Yeah, that's our plan going forward. It's just,
We'll keep you in the loop.
Yeah. But it's some adjustments we've been trying to make. We're both...
And we're a really good team about it. Like, we're helping to, really encourage each other. And yes, I got mad at you yesterday, but I
She threatened to call a friend to help guilt trip
So
me.
I did. Unfortunately, our mutual friend was sick, and I knew that because I had messaged her in the morning and asked how she was doing, and she said that she had a really bad cold and just was feeling yucky. But I almost messaged her last night and went, can you believe that he will not let me eat pizza? Will you please message him and be like, get that girl some pizza? Or, doesn't pizza sound good? You and Cora should get pizza. I didn't.
She was going to recruit friends.
I was going to recruit friends to use it against him. But, I was going to say in the long run, I'm happy we didn't, but I still kind of wish we had gotten pizza last night.
Me too. We will get pizza in the near future. Maybe.
I'm telling you should get pizza Wednesday when I go to my hair appointment.
I'm totally getting pizza on Wednesday.
You should get pizza on Wednesday because I wanted pizza, but I won't like it.
Yeah.
Can I get Chinese food on Wednesday night?
Okay. You're out of my control on Wednesday.
Yes.
You said I'm trusting you to be responsible.
Is that responsible though? It's better than McDonald's.
I'm trusting you to be responsible.
If I get
I'm trusting you to be responsible.
No, you can't pull that shit on me. Like,
trusting you to be responsible.
I will call you by your full name on this podcast. I do not care.
I don't care. I'll edit it out because I do all the editing. You can call me whatever you want. Doesn't mean anyone will hear.
Listen here, dildo breath.
Dildo breath.
That's gonna stay in, isn't it?
Absolutely.
No, seriously, is it being irresponsible if I go and get
You have to eat something.
If I go and get
you're going to be leaving from work to go straight up, right? You have to eat something.
Yeah. So if I get a normal person amount and not my 5 days worth.
That's what I'm saying. You have to eat something.
Okay.
I thought we had agreed you were eating out.
Yeah. And it's better than McDonald's.
I would prefer you get Chinese over McDonald's, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay, it's on the podcast. It has been recorded. I can get Chinese food on Wednesday.
Until I edit it out tomorrow morning.
Oh, no. Nope. Bubs is glaring at you guys again.
Oh, to keep it down. You can sleep through this. I know you can.
He can sleep through a tornado.
You live in a heavy metal household.
He does live in it. So I've learned.
I'm a little scared by this one.
No. You know this one. So I have found that I'm the kind of person that I have to have complete darkness, complete silence to sleep at night. But when I nap, heavy metal music can be playing.
Oh yeah.
And I can nap to it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really nap to anything else, but if heavy metal's on.
Man, you put on some Meshuggah at a low drone, I'll put you right out.
Yeah, I can.
Mm-hmm.
I used to we used to do it. We don't do it anymore, or we haven't. But when we would decide to take a weekend nap, and we would go in and we would have music playing lightly. It's light and gentle music playing in the bedroom. And by light and gentle music, I'm talking light and gentle death metal. And the only gentle and light thing about it was turned down. So it was quieter. We would have death metal playing on the speaker in the bedroom when we would take a nap. And it was kind of wonderful because when you couldn't quite sleep, you could just kind of rock out to the songs. And then you'd fall asleep and then you'd wake up and be like, oh yeah, I like this song. This is good.
And that was that was something that was just so awesome about Casper.
Oh my God, Casper loved death metal.
Oh, she loved it. And we'd be sitting upstairs. I have a loud sound system hooked up to our TV. There's a couple big stereos here.
A couple.
Kind of a music guy a little bit.
Just a bit.
And we'd be watching an Opeth concert on the TV. Just cranked. Windows are vibrating.
Felt like you were literally at the concert.
Yeah. And Casper's over there curled up on her corner of the couch, which is a foot and a half away from the speaker.
She's the closest that anybody was to the speaker.
Out.
Sound asleep.
just totally out.
And then like the music would quiet down and she'd like lift up her head and
pop her
look
head
at
up.
us like, eh?
And then it would kick in again.
And
She'd
then
go,
she'd be like, okay. And then she'd fall right back to
Ow.
sleep. Like she loved heavy metal music.
Mm-hmm.
The other kitties, like it would start and they'd run out of the room like, eek, it's scary. And Cass would be like, all right, this is my napping shit. She'd curl up and out she'd sleep.
That is one thing that Weird Uncle is having some issues adjusting to, because
We are loud.
I come upstairs from drumming and he is nowhere to be found.
So we are very loud. We tend to make silly noises. We always have music playing somewhere if we're not recording a podcast.
Yes.
Songs are being created to sing to the cats. I mean,
I sing to the cats constantly.
we are pretty noisy people.
Yes. We are audible.
Yes. Bosco and Gizmo are very used to it and don't even usually bat an eye at this point when anything goes on. But poor Weird Uncle is...
He has no idea what to do.
The poor
with
guy has no idea what to do. He gets himself pretty worked up.
He's real confused. He's starting.
He's getting a little better because now he like goes, huh, but he doesn't run.
And he seems, I think once he gets completely like settled in and gets used to everything that's going on, I think he's going to be super chill.
Oh, he's going to be the chillest cat of all of them.
So chill. He is totally going to be the dude of our cats.
Oh, 100%. He's
will
just going to
abide.
be, he will abide.
Yes.
I hate you for that. But he will definitely just be, I mean, all of our cats are pretty chill.
Yeah.
He is going
chill.
to just be like yep, you do whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
Because I'm slowly noticing it, that he's letting, like he's starting to get used to us more and get used to them more.
Until
and
he sees the gray one.
Well, yeah, but the little crash landed one right there. But yeah, I think he's going to be
super chill.
He's going to be a super chill, cool cat.
Once he realizes he doesn't have to be afraid of every loud noise.
Yeah. But Gizzard's still afraid of some loud noises, so
I mean, the household he came from, it was just him and my mom, and she might have talked to him occasionally. The TV would be on at a low volume. She didn't really listen to a lot of music.
No, she was more into like reading and crocheting and stuff. So
very quiet.
Very
hobbies.
quiet.
So he's not used to rambunctiousness.
No, but he is getting better. He's definitely getting better.
He is definitely getting better. I don't know where he's at.
I'm getting him used to smooches.
Yes. I'm getting him used to knowing where his butt is at.
Yeah, you love to point out where their butt is.
And picking him up and manhandling him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He got shown what a good-looking kitty he was today in the mirror.
Yeah. Look at this good-looking fella right here.
Yeah. So, do either of you two have anything to say to the podcast before we end this today?
Feed us.
Well, Bubs is still fairly out.
Yeah.
He's face planted into the couch.
Gizzard's about half crash landed on the futon. Not the futon. What's that called? Ottoman.
Ottoman?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's
The foot cube.
the foot cube.
The foot cube.
The Giz cube right now.
Giz
Giz
foot
cube. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, so those are just some updates on what's going on with us so far the end of this year. You know, some of the plans and changes we've made this year. Some updates on Weird Uncle.
Yeah. We'll keep you posted.
I know there's been a couple mentions of it. She had mentioned before. We had recorded one of these in the morning, and I remember she had mentioned something about, hey, I can eat now. And maybe we should explain why
we should probably explain what that means.
And just what's going on with all that.
Yeah.
So bring everybody up to speed on what the plans are for this year.
That's why I'll be like, oh, crap, it's this time. I can't eat. Or, oh, yay, I can eat now.
Yes. So, yeah, she's doing the intermittent fasting, which means I'm kind of doing the intermittent fasting.
You're not really at all. You can eat whenever you want to.
I
Just on
don't.
weekends, I won't cook for you until it's time for me to eat. But you can eat your breakfast foods. I don't typically eat breakfast anyway.
Yeah, because
I'm not a breakfast eater.
She doesn't like
I
things
don't
that are
like
good
breakfast
or
foods.
fun.
So,
But yeah, that's what's been going on, and
thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, we'll let you know what's going on with Weird Uncle, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Bye.